Listen, I need to tell you something that still keeps me up at night, and trust me, my species does not sleep easily. We have 3 eyelids, for crying out loud. My name is Vec, just Vec. I work as a combat instructor at the Galactic Military Academy on Station Helix 9, and I have seen some things in my 40 cycles of service, but nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, prepared me for the day they assigned me a human cadet. The Academy Council sent me a message. Standard protocol, right? New recruit incoming, species designation, human, origin planet Earth. Threat assessment, moderate. Moderate. I laughed so hard my secondary lungs collapsed. These tiny fragile creatures from a backwater gravity well, the ones who need water every few hours, or they shrivel up like dried kelp. Yeah, okay, sure. Moderate threat. Her name was Maya Kross. She walked into my training hall on her first day, and I swear on the 7 moons she looked like she weighed less than my breakfast. Short compared to my species, pale skin, dark hair tied back in something she called a ponytail, and those eyes, cold, calculating, like she was measuring every single thing in the room for weaknesses. Instructor Vecades, she asked, her voice surprisingly steady. That is correct, Cadet Kross, I replied, circling her slowly. Welcome to advanced combat training. This is where we separate the soldiers from the dead. She did not flinch. Most recruits flinch. I have reviewed your physical assessments, I continued, pulling up her file on my datapad. Bone density, inferior. Muscle mass, laughable. Reaction time, barely adequate. Stamina, concerning. I looked down at her. Tell me, Cadet, why should I waste my time training someone who will clearly die in their first real engagement? Know what she did? She smiled. Actually smiled. Because, Instructor, I am still here, she said simply. Oh, I did not like that answer. Too confident. Too calm. Humans were supposed to be nervous, jittery things. Easy to break. Easy to mold. Very well, I said, gesturing to the equipment racks. Select your weapon. Now, here is where it gets interesting. The racks contained everything a cadet could want: plasma rifles, sonic disruptors, molecular blades, energy shields, gravity hammers. You name it, we had it. Top-tier military hardware from 12 different species. Maya walked past all of it. Every single weapon. She stopped at the very end of the rack, where we kept the antiques, training equipment from primitive civilizations, ceremonial pieces, decorations really, and she picked up a stick, a wooden stick. It was about 1 meter long, made from some earth tree she called oak, smooth, polished, completely and utterly useless in modern combat. We kept it because the previous human instructor, who retired 3 cycles ago, left it behind, said it was called a bow staff. I thought it was junk. That is your choice, I asked, unable to hide my disbelief. Yes, Instructor, she replied, testing its weight with a few practice swings. I could hear the other cadets snickering. 12 recruits from various species, all armed with proper weapons, and this human picks a stick? Perfect. This would be educational for everyone. Attention! I barked, and the snickering stopped. Combat Scenario Alpha. Cadet Kross versus Cadet Thorne. Thorne, you may use the plasma rifle. Standard setting. First to land 3 hits wins. Thorne was Krillian. Big species. Strong. 4 arms, natural armor plating. Excellent vision. And I just gave him a weapon that could punch holes through starship hulls. Against a girl with a stick. This was going to be over in seconds. Begin, I shouted. Thorne raised the rifle immediately. The charging sound echoed through the hall. Point-and-shoot technology. Impossible to miss at this range. He pulled the trigger. The plasma bolt screamed toward Maya at supersonic speed, bright blue and absolutely lethal. She moved, not away, not to the side. She stepped forward and to the left, just barely, and the bolt passed so close to her head I could smell burned hair. But she was already moving again, closing the distance between them, while Thorne frantically tried to reacquire his target. Second shot, third shot, fourth shot. She dodged them all with these tiny, precise movements, never stopping, always advancing. The stick spun in her hands like it was alive, redirecting her momentum, helping her change direction mid-stride. Thorne panicked, started firing wildly. Big mistake. Maya was inside his guard before he could compensate. The stick blurred. One strike to his primary right wrist. The rifle clattered to the floor. Another strike to his knee joint. He dropped. A final strike to his neck plating, pulled just enough to avoid serious injury. Thorne collapsed, gasping, completely stunned. Total elapsed time? 7 seconds. The hall went dead silent. Each how. Thorne wheezed from the floor. Maya offered him a hand up, which he took shakily. Plasma weapons have a charge delay of 0.3 seconds and a visible energy signature. You broadcast every shot before firing. Also, you rely too much on technology. Turn it off. And what do you have? She said it so casually, like she had not just demolished opponent 3 times her size, armed with a weapon that should have vaporized her. I stared at her. Really stared. And for the first time I wondered if the Academy Council's assessment was wrong. Not moderate threat. Something much, much worse. So yeah, that happened. I stood there, trying to process what my 4 eyes had just witnessed, while the other cadets muttered nervously among themselves. Thorne was still on the floor, looking like someone had just explained quantum physics to a rock. Acceptable, I said. Because what else could I say? Next scenario. Cadet Kross versus Cadets Lyra and Thorne, simultaneously. Maya did not even blink, just nodded and returned to her starting position, that ridiculous wooden stick resting casually on her shoulder. Lyra was Safari, energy whip specialist. Fast, agile, could strike from 8 meters away with precision that would make a surgeon jealous. Thorne was Draken, heavy gunner, carried a rotary plasma cannon that fired 40 rounds per second. Together, they had trained as a team for 6 months. This was going to be a massacre. Just not the massacre I expected. Begin. Thorne opened up immediately, because subtlety is not a Draken trait. The cannon roared to life, filling the air with a wall of plasma fire. 40 bolts per second. Remember? The entire left side of the training hall became a death zone. Maya ran right into it. I swear my main heart stopped beating. But she was not running straight. She was moving in this zigzag pattern. Never in one place for more than a fraction of a second. Using that stick to vault, to pivot, to change direction in ways that should not be anatomically possible. The plasma bolts painted the air around her, missing by centimeters, and she was laughing. Actually laughing. Is that all you got? She shouted over the weapons fire. Lyra tried to flank her. Smart move. The energy whip lashed out, crackling with enough power to slice through titanium. It wrapped around Maya's ankle mid-sprint. Got her, I thought. Finally. Wrong again. Maya did not fight it. She jumped, using the whip's pull to change her trajectory, flipping over Lyra's head while the stick came down hard on the Safari's wrist. The whip deactivated. Before Lyra could recover, Maya landed behind her and swept her legs out with the staff. 1 down. Thorne stopped firing. Had to. Lyra was in his line of fire now. He started repositioning, trying to get a clear shot, but Maya was already moving again. She threw the stick, just chucked it like a spear. It hit Thorne's cannon barrel at the exact moment he pulled the trigger. The weapon jammed, overheated, and exploded in his hands. Not enough to hurt him seriously. Our safety protocols are excellent, but enough to take him completely out of the fight. 2 down. Maya walked over, picked up her stick, and turned to face me, not even breathing hard. Adequate? She asked, using my own word. The other cadets were not muttering anymore. They were silent, watching, calculating. Suddenly, every single one of them was looking at the human cadet with new eyes, dangerous eyes. You have training, I said. It was not a question. I grew up on Earth, Maya replied, rolling her shoulders. Old martial arts. My grandmother taught me. She said that weapons break, ammunition runs out, and technology fails. But skill, she tapped her head. Skill stays with you. Your grandmother was wise, I admitted. But this is not Earth. Out here, enemies do not follow ancient honor codes. They will shoot you from orbit, gas you from vents, detonate explosives in your path. How does your stick help then? She looked at me for a long moment. Then she smiled again. That same unsettling smile. Instructor Vec, may I speak freely? Proceed. You are asking the wrong question, she said. It is not about the stick. It has never been about the stick. The stick is just wood, dead material, no power source, no targeting computer. But in my hands, she spun it once, effortlessly. In my hands, it becomes an extension of my will, my intention, my refusal to quit. She stepped closer. The other cadets leaned in to hear. You want to know what makes humans dangerous? It is not our weapons, not our ships, not our technology. It is that we refuse to accept limitations. You give us a stick, we will find a way to defeat your plasma rifles. You put us in impossible situations. We will find the one solution everyone else missed. You tell us something cannot be done. She grinned wider. We take that as a personal challenge. I felt something then, something I had not felt in 20 cycles of teaching. A cold sensation running down my spine. Because I finally understood. The Academy Council did not send me a moderate threat. They sent me a test, to see if I could train someone who did not need training. Someone who would teach us more than we could teach them. Someone who represented an entire species that looked at the impossible and said, "Watch this." "Cadet Kross," I said formally. "You pass the exercise, instructor." "No," I replied. "Everything. You graduate advanced combat training effective immediately. In fact, I am recommending you for special operations." Her eyes widened. First sign of surprise I had seen from her. "But instructor, I just started today." "Exactly," I said. "And you have already proven something vital. You do not need better weapons. You do not need advanced technology. You just need an opening, and you will take it." I turned to address all the cadets. "Let this be your lesson today. Never ever underestimate an opponent based on their equipment, or their size, or their apparent disadvantages, because somewhere in this galaxy, there is a species that will take your best technology, your finest weapons, your most brilliant tactics." I pointed at Maya, "and beat you with a stick." The cadets stood at attention. They understood now. Finally. Humans were not moderate threats. They were the thing nightmares warned their children about. And Maya Kross? She just smiled, shouldered her wooden staff, and walked out of my training hall like she owned the entire station. Maybe she did. I am definitely not sleeping tonight.